Hi guys, and welcome back to the IB Lounge YouTube channel. Today what I'll be sharing with you is a new way of looking at exams. I hope that through this you actually feel less stressed out about exams and can see things in a different perspective. The IB exams is actually coming up pretty soon. Actually, it's coming in about November. And I'm sure for you IB students out there, you must be feeling really stressed, really anxious, and I'm sure there's many thoughts that go through your head. Well, today why I'm here is really to share with you this quote that has actually helped me in my life and has helped me go through many difficult things, and I hope to be able to pass it down to you guys. This quote is actually by Sylvester Stallone, and he said it during his movie Rocky. And basically the quote goes something like this: "It ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done." So of course Sylvester Stallone didn't say this in the context of studying. He said it in something else, which is actually prepping his son, I believe, for a boxing competition. Why I found this quote to be really good was because it teaches us to actually take a new perspective whenever we face a challenge. Let's break this quote down a bit. So in the first part of the quote, he says, "It ain't about how hard you hit." Is it really true? In the context of studying, I would say not really, because in this case we can liken how hard someone hits to basically how hard this person studies. And of course it does matter how hard you study. Please don't get the wrong idea that you can somehow get lucky and do well in your exams. You need to put in the hard work, you need to have determination and perseverance to actually get a good outcome in your grades at the end of your exams. So I don't think that what Rocky actually meant was that one should not study hard or should not prepare well for a challenge. I think what he meant was that was not the important thing. What he meant was that the important thing in terms of the life perspective is actually what you do after you face a setback or face a downfall. So for instance, maybe you have studied really hard but not gotten the grade that you expected. That's totally fine, and that's totally normal in fact. What Rocky is trying to say is that what you do at that point in time after receiving the bad grade is more important than studying hard or than getting the grade in the first place. I think what he means is really important because you can't always control the outcome, but you can control what you do or how you react to the outcome. And that's exactly what Rocky is trying to say. It doesn't really matter how much you study, what grade you get, but how you react to the grade that you get after knowing that it's not the best that you could have achieved. This really speaks about the characteristic of being resilient. And I think that's one of the most important characteristics that anybody can build. Resilience is something that we all need in life, and we all need to actually get through life, because life is not going to be easy, it's not going to be a bed of roses, but rather a bit of thorns. And having this resilience to keep pushing through is really what will get you through life, not the grades. Of course the grades are important. They get you through a good university, they make you feel happy, but sometimes you can't get the grades that you want. Likewise for myself, I was always someone that tried very hard in exams, but my grades would often fluctuate. Sometimes I would feel really disappointed in myself because I was brought up to think that it's all about trying my best. But when I got a not so good grade, my parents would usually look at me with a frown and feel that I wasn't trying my best, where in actual fact I was. So what I realized after a few years of feeling this disappointment was that I can control how hard I work, but I cannot control the outcome of it. But what I realized was that I could control the reaction to it. And this really made a world of difference. So I started beginning to actually focus on how I would react. And instead of feeling disappointed, I instead thought to myself, how can I improve from that? If it wasn't because I wasn't trying my best, was I studying in a not so smart way? Were there more efficient ways to study? These things were constantly in the back of my mind, and through years of improvement, of refining these methods, I actually found myself maybe not to be scoring better grades, but to be more confident of myself and to actually be more resilient with myself. I took exams not as academic tests. Of course they are academic tests, but the way I viewed them was something different. I viewed them as ways in which I can improve myself through not only academics, but in terms of personal development. I learned to build up my resilience, to look at them as something that should not hold me back and something that I can instead look forward to testing my knowledge instead of just seeing them as numbers on papers. After all, life isn't just about one exam. There are many series of exams, not just academic, but also daily tests that we have in our lives. So instead of focusing on just trying to get an A, why not we focus on trying to become resilient? Why not we focus on getting ourselves back on our feet after we experience a downfall? If we look at examinations not as the most important thing, but rather just as any other test that we have in our life, wouldn't that actually make us feel better? Make us not feel so stressed and actually view them as something very positive instead of something negative.
The prophecy is true.
So, truly try your best in your exam. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be putting in the effort, but at the same time, focus on what actually happens after the exam. After you get back your report card, after you see the C or the D on your report card. Only then will you be able to truly win. As Rocky says, that's how winning is done.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I hope that you find some solace and some comfort in the words that Rocky has imparted to us. Life is about a journey that is filled with many challenges, many setbacks, but it's all about how we choose to react, how we choose to get back on our feet that really matters. I hope that you take this in mind when you're sitting for your IB exams. Don't stress out too much. It's really not worth it. Do your best, and I'm sure at the end of the day, you'll be satisfied with yourself, and that in itself is enough.
Aww.
If you need any help with your preparation for the IB, you know who to look for. If you're watching this somehow after the IB, don't worry. We are still here for you, and you can still reach out to us if you need any guidance, be it in terms of university guidance or in terms of reconciling the grades with yourself. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, remember to give it a like and a subscribe, and comment down below about what you think about this mindset. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video, and have a good studying session. See you guys.